What's up, guys? Tank Game Nature Boy here, and today we have some guest footage from reever89. Now, he sent me this footage. I looked at it and I said, you know what? We're going to up the ante here. We're going to make this a how-to guide on passive spotting on live oaks. Now, that being said, two different ways to do it primarily. You don't necessarily want to go the mid being, you know, the swamp. We kind of border the mid. The swamp is more or less suicide. Now you can spot on the right as well. We are, however, going to go to this primary hill. If you get close enough to the right hand side of this hill up here, you can spot the enemy team as they push in. Now, we get up here, guys, and we get in a fantastic spot. We're up here, we're a little bit in the bush, and as the enemy team comes in, excellent position. You can just farm the absolute mess out of it. You guys are going to notice that we don't have a lot of shots missed here. Not a lot of opportunity missed either. Anybody who comes across these gun sites is going to get punished. And punished they are getting. Now, at a certain point here, once they get involved in the city with the green team, you don't really have many more shots. But that being said, you do get to farm the mess out of them as they come in. We're not saying they can't get to the city. We're just saying they have to pay the tax first. Now, let me focus on the tank here, guys. The tank we are in, Tier 7 AFK Panther, also known as Awful Panther, also known as massively large German name. Now, this tank was not worth a hoot when it was in the tech tree. It was not very good. That's where it got the name Awful Panther, AFK Panther, what have you. It was just simply awful. Now that it's a premium tank, very, very amazing tank. You're going to see a lot of people run these in Tier 7 matches just because they're just absolutely outstanding. It's like, you know, a Ram Panzer that can scout. Think of it that way. Okay, so moving on. We're back up in the same position here. Putting some rounds on this gentleman. Looks like somebody's binos went up because we hadn't really moved and they spotted us. Now, we're going to get some shots here on the other side of the map. Excellent situational awareness here. Guys, once you get to this hill and, you know, you maintain this hill, you can get shots on a lot of things from this hill. So you don't necessarily even have to leave. You can even go so far as to get shots on the guys on the tracks on the 9-0 line once they're lit up by the friendly team pushing that flank, pushing our right flank. So just keep that in mind. Now, granted, of course, you never want to silhouette yourself on top of the hill here to my left. You have to be aware of that. You know, as soon as that 6 cents kicks in, you just need to get the heck out of there. And guys, if you don't have 6 cents on your tank, change it, fix it right now, no matter what tank you're running. You have to know when people are looking at it. It's a fact in the game. Moving on. So right now we're kind of going back and forth here with this fella. It looks like he's getting a little bit of the better of us, but you know what? We've got DPM on our side, so if he stays there, we're just going to end up putting some rounds on him. This tank, most German tanks at this tier have amazing, just blistering DPM. You know, not alpha, mind you. Don't get it, you know, twisted. But DPM is just utterly amazing for what it is. You know, in this particular vehicle. So just keep that in mind. You never want to try to go in for a kill on one of these if you're not in an auto load. Go in on one of these when they're full health, so you can take it out. Or excuse me, when they're low health, so you can take it out with one shot. Okay, so like I was stating previously, we were putting some rounds on the guys over there on the tracks, so that's fantastic. And you know, I would almost consider this location to be kind of the mid. I mean, granted, this doesn't necessarily have a true mid, because if you go to the center, you're just kind of screwed. You know, you're going to be in a swamp, and swamps are not conducive to driving around well in tanks, so just be aware of that. You don't necessarily want to go there. Okay, so moving on, as you can see here, guys, the game is wrapping up very, very nicely. We've just got a few guys left here on the map as far as enemies go. Now, we did not have a good solid force push our right flank. So they're kind of breaking through. We're kind of scoping those gentlemen right now. We're putting some rounds down range. Now, you do have to be careful, guys. You don't want to be the only person on a flank. You know, the light tank is not going to be very, very useful as a spotting mechanism if there's no one behind you to shoot at what you're spotting. So just keep that in mind. Now, granted, we don't have a whole lot of assist. Sometimes, guys, it's going to be like that. We were in the good position to make it happen. You know, could you move up further? Yes. Would you be able to fire? Maybe, maybe not, depending on, you know, who takes point. You know, if a light tank is taking point and you start firing, then everybody in the neighborhood is going to know where you're at, and they're going to start putting rounds on your position. So just be aware of that. That, you know, sometimes it is better to be a little further back. That way you can farm, you know, some more damage. Because, you know, you could always let the greens take, you know, the damage and you get the assist. But you know what? Why not take it all? I'm a firm believer in carrying your own weight. And that's exactly what reever89 is doing. He is out here making it happen. Now, looks like we have one gentleman right down here. We go ahead and put a round in him. No opportunity lost there. And now we're going to zoom in here, see if we can't get some good shots on him while he is busy with some other folks. Which, in my opinion, is the best time to have a proper fight, is when someone else is not looking your way and they are occupied. Moving on. We're going to go down here and we're going to push this 9-0 line, or excuse me, 6-7 line. It's not the 9-0 line until it straightens out. Either way, you know what I'm talking about. Now, we do have a couple of guys down here. We have to be very, very careful. One of them is the king of the dirt there, so we have to be very, very cautious. You don't want that fella to shoot at you, especially with this low health. You don't want anybody to shoot at you with this low health, but with this gentleman, there's no chance of bouncing because he'll just derp you. And, you know, high X. Assuming he is derping right, let's say that properly. So we go ahead, put a round on that gentleman, remove him from the board, and now we're going to put a few rounds in this fella right here. He is turning that massive derp around, which we are just wholly not fans of. We're just kind of keeping eyes on him. I mean, you know, we still want to get in there and farm some damage, but we don't want to risk our lives doing it. We want to safely farm the enemy, if there is such a thing. So we're going to kind of pull around the corner here. Wait till he gets shot is the best way to do it, because then he's going to turn his turret towards the threat. Now, granted, of course, when he pulls the trigger and kills somebody, that's a definite factor that he has shot somebody. And then we have this amazing combination death there at the end, which was pretty darn awesome. So, guys, this is how to scout Live Oaks. 3480. Amazing, amazing game. We just went in there and held it down. Thank you to this gentleman for sending in this footage, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. We'll see you guys next time.